Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Aiden. I also go by Tuesday Enthusiast. And today I wanted to yap at you a little bit about like my artistic journey, I guess. And like why I create and why I think everybody should try to create or find a creative outlet of sorts. So hopefully you can hear me just fine. My partner's on a call in the other room, so hopefully that's okay. But basically, I lost my creative spark for a really long time, like as a human being. I just like had no outlet or anything for like a couple of years. I was knitting, but it was more of a fidget. I was making garments, like sweaters and stuff, because it felt more productive than just like sitting and watching TV. I would sit and watch TV and knit a sweater, so that I'd have a sweater to wear, even if it meant that I watched all 4 seasons of the Gilmore Girls or whatever to make the sweater. But I like hadn't touched anything else that was creative in a really long time. And then I kind of got uninspired even with knitting. I was in a knitting club at the time, and like basically I still am, I don't know why. Whatever. But the only times that I was knitting for most of last year was while I was present at my knitting club. And I just like pick away at, I mean, you've seen my basket. So we've all seen the basket. If you haven't seen the basket, I'll link it wherever it goes. I was picking away at random stuff from there at knitting club, and like not really knitting apart from that. And then it dawned on me that I could knit not garments. That's like a crazy thing. I don't know, it took me like years to come to that realization. And that's when I made my first tapestry prototype. I have no idea where it is, but it was a little tiny, like hand-sized forest spirit from Princess Mononoke. I forget what they're called right now, but it was one of those. And it was in pink and red, and it was really rough, and it did not turn out very well, but I saw the potential in it. It was my first color work piece ever also. Like I hadn't done color work. I've been knitting for like 8 years and hadn't touched color work. Crazy. So then learned double knitting and then did that. But then I can only knit so fast, right? You can only knit so fast. You can only spend so much time knitting. And also my like wrists and elbows get mad at me if I knit for too long. Like I think maybe there's something going on there that I definitely need to investigate, but I've not investigated yet. But anyway, I digress. That was a thing that was happening to me, is that my elbows and wrists were hurting a lot from knitting. So then I was like, well, what if I started like painting and drawing again? Like what if I got back into that? And that felt really intimidating to me. That felt like something that was unreachable because I hadn't done it in like a decade. Like I think the last time I drew a picture, I was like 16 or 17, and it's at my parents' house, I'm sure, somewhere in the basement. They have like this little chest, but it was this like beautiful 40-hour sketch of Ollie Sykes. I was really into Bring Me the Horizon at like 17. And that was like the last thing I ever drew or created. So I was like, I have like this huge gap between like my taste and my skill in that area, and it felt really intimidating. But then I just like started making myself do it. I started making myself paint bad things. I started making myself draw bad things. I have a sketchbook that my mother bought me that's like full of bad art. She's a fine artist, and she was like, if you're gonna make art, you need a sketchbook. Like you need a space that you can do ugly things and it doesn't matter. And I was like, why the hell would I do that? I was like really against the sketchbook, and now I fill it with garbage and it's fine. But I practiced all those things, and now one, my style is way different than I thought it would be, but I'm obsessed with it. The colors are bright, it's snappy, it's kind of surrealist, which is something I didn't think that I would make because I was like a realism girly in high school, but now it's like fun and bright. And I'm learning things about my personal style and taste preferences that I like wouldn't have known unless I'd started doing something that I thought I would be bad at. So I guess this is just a little message to you to do things that you think you're bad at, because maybe you'll learn something about yourself even if it's bad, and then you'll still have one. So let's think about that for a little bit. What is a creative outlet, you might ask? We can talk about that briefly. My camera is flashing that the battery is dying, but we are gonna side tangent into this. Creative outlets could be anything that's considered a craft. So like knitting, crochet, art, scrapbooking, journaling, whatever. Creative outlets could also be writing. That's a big one for people. Creative outlets could be making social media posts that match the rest of your feed. A creative outlet could be practicing acting on your own in like subtle ways. Like maybe you're like, oh, I'm a little character in this coffee shop and this is my role here, and you don't even have to communicate it, you can just act. That's all I have to say this week. This is the whole video. Thanks for tuning in. Get creative, do some creative work, find a creative outlet.